I was taken out of the public schools in Peoria because I would have episodes and would become extremely violent. So they put me in Zeller. And I was there for a year, and then they put me in foster home. They wouldn't let me go back home.
And you were in foster care until you were 18, right?
18.
Yeah, and so from 9 years old to 18, how many foster homes were you in?
46. I just couldn't function around people. I didn't have it in me. I didn't want to.
So you, at 18, you're able to get out of that, and I think you joined the Army.
Yeah. I stayed in the Army about a year, and then I was discharged because of aggressive behavior beyond military control. So I was washed out.
Okay, and then what happened after that?
Prison. Well, technically I'm still a member of the Outlaws Motorcycle Club. Drugs, prostitution, extortion, blackmail, it didn't matter. You know, whatever could get the money. That was the whole point of it, was the club was your family. That's who you supported. And everything you did was for them. And I guess at the time I needed that.
You know, because of some of that activity, you were in prison then for a period of time. And was it like 20-some years, off and on, just?
Off and on for 25 years.
25 years. So after you got out of prison for the last time, you came to Peoria.
I got back to Peoria. I knew that if I wanted to stay out of prison, I had to stay away from the people and the places. And when I came home, it was like I'd never been gone. I mean, it just all picked right back up. Wasn't something I planned on. It just, next thing I knew, I'm right in the middle of it again. I had basically everything I wanted. I had a home, I had my car, I had my wife, who I didn't really know. I had my kids, but I never dealt with them. I never talked to them. And it just, I snapped. I left everything in Peoria and came over here and went to Safe Harbor.
Safe Harbor is a
homeless shelter.
Homeless shelter.
Yeah. I was looking for something. I didn't know, I didn't have any idea what it was, but I knew I wasn't happy. I knew I couldn't live the way I was living. And Kurt Drake used to come down to Safe Harbor every Wednesday night, and he didn't preach at me. I just started asking questions. I mean, I didn't understand it. You know, they're talking about love and all this kind of stuff, and I'm not, you know, no, this isn't how it works. I mean, I never thought God would be able to forgive me for the things I've done. I mean, I've broken every commandment he's got, and numerous times. And there's no way he can forgive that. You know, it's not going to happen. Well, Kurt found about 100 places in the Bible where it says differently. And I started to believe it.
Yeah.
And then I started going to church with him. Them people were weird. But, you know, I had hair down my butt, and my beard was long. I was rough. I didn't know how to talk. I mean, and these people, they wouldn't leave me alone. They would come down to Safe Harbor and take me home and feed me, do devotions with me. Completely opposite from what I was used to and what I knew how to deal with. So I went back to Kurt, and he explained to me that in God's family, everybody's loved. There's no black sheep. It was possible to have relationships with people that were productive. And I just decided I wanted that. You know, I had no idea what it was, but I wanted that. So Kurt showed me how I had to go through the process of asking Jesus to forgive me, to come into my heart, and to change things. And he did almost immediately. Things changed. And it's just snowballed from there. Man.
I remember I went over to talk to the Sunday school class and about the trip. So I went over there and I was telling them about this trip to Israel. And so I was saying to them, I said, if you can't go, take one of your young people. Just think about some young person in your church, and as a class, sponsor them. Just send them and just see what the difference is.
I'm the youngest one in the class.
So tell us about the fact you started reading these stories and how that impacted your life and the training here last year.
Well, Roger had everything laid out. He told me I had to read 5 stories
Every day?
every day, and I started reading, but then I would read the story and I'd go back to the Bible because I didn't believe the story. So I'd go back to the Bible, so here I am spending more time in my Bible again, and I couldn't stop. I've read it 7 times now. Yeah, I got a lot more understanding out of it. It makes you dig. I mean, the story, there's just enough there to get you drawn into it. And you want to know what happens. So you got to get into the Bible. And it just makes it so simple. I mean, even I can understand it.
Yesterday, as we were talking, you said that going to Israel changed how you think about the Bible. What did Israel do to you now that you read the Bible?
I always thought of the Bible as a textbook. You know, this is where you went for answers. I never understood the answers, never really looked for them, but this is what it was. In Israel, it went from a textbook to a movie. Everything just played through my head. I mean, as they were telling the stories, I seen the people. I was there. I knew what was going on. And it come to life. I mean, it just took over. And it's really cool. I like it.